Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Martin Odegaard now shares what was said in the Arsenal dressing room at halftime last night. Martin Odegaard has now shared what was said in the Arsenal dressing room at halftime last night. The Gunners returned to Premier League action with a 3-1 win over West Ham United last night and moved 7 points clear at the top of the table. Arsenal were on the front foot for the entire half, and Bukayo Saka even had a goal ruled out for offside before the Hammers opened the scoring. It was a frustrating 45 minutes for the Gunners, and Odegaard has now shared that the message in the dressing room at halftime was to continue playing as they had done. Speaking to Arsenal's official website, Odegaard spoke about what was said in the dressing room during the break. "I think we just said, keep on playing. Keep on believing, keep doing the same things, a few adjustments, but I think we played pretty good in the first half as well. Just lacked the goal and they scored out of nothing, but I think we played well and we kept on doing a lot of the same things and then we got more space in the second half. I think they were tired in the end, so brilliant performance." Arsenal have shown plenty of times already this season that they are capable of turning games around, something that will be crucial if they wish to keep their place at the top of the table. Odegaard was involved in their leveller just 8 minutes after half-time as his shot fell kindly into the path of Saka, who finished it expertly. Odegaard set up Nketiah while he was also heavily involved in the build-up to Martinelli's goal. It was another outstanding performance from the Arsenal captain as he helped his side pick back up where they left off before the World Cup break. The Gunners will now turn their attention to a difficult trip to the south coast as they prepare to face Brighton on New Year's Eve. Alan Shearer amazed by Bukayo Saka after Arsenal beat West Ham. Alan Shearer has told much of the day that Bukayo Saka was at the heart of everything Arsenal did in their dramatic win over West Ham, labeling the youngster an incredible talent. The Gunners picked up where they left off before the World Cup break. However, they had to fight their way to the 3 points after going a goal down during the first half at the Emirates. Saka had thought he had broken the deadlock with a superb finish before the break. However, the goal was ruled out for a well-spotted offside by the official. He would get on the score sheet during the second half. However, Saka would produce a world-class first touch to control Martin Odegaard's poor attempt on goal, and he would tuck the ball into the bottom corner. That goal would inspire Arsenal's comeback, with Gabriel Martinelli and Eddie Nketiah both going on to find the back of the net for Mikel Arteta's man. It was a stunning performance from Arsenal's front four, and they were not alone, but Shearer suggested that it was the England international who really stole the show for the Premier League leaders. He went on to say the following: "At the heart of everything was Saka, who was going to stand up without one of their main men. Of course, in Jesus being injured, it was Saka that did that. Everything he did, he is such a gutsy personality on top of his incredible ability. What an incredible talent he is, and it was always going to be who was going to stand up, and for me, he was the one there." It is encouraging that Arsenal did not appear to miss a step. Obviously, they went behind against the Hammers. However, they have had to battle their way to some big points already this season. It is almost more impressive that they were able to get the job done after the early setback, and Saka has picked up where he left off before the break. He has 11 goal involvements in just 15 league games. Mark Schwarzer praises Eddie Nketiah during Arsenal win over West Ham. Mark Schwarzer was full of praise for Eddie Nketiah while Arsenal were 1-0 down to West Ham on Boxing Day, claiming on BBC Radio 5 Live that his first touch had been brilliant. Many eyes were on Nketiah heading into the clash with the Hammers. Mikel Arteta's men will have to do without Gabriel Jesus for a little while due to a knee injury sustained at the World Cup. When Nketiah had featured previously this season, it had appeared that he had taken his game to another level. He looked stronger, and his all-round game had seemingly improved considerably. Nevertheless, many Arsenal fans would have been forgiven for wondering whether he could possibly fill the void Jesus left behind. Obviously, tougher tests lie ahead. However, there is no question that Nketiah is off to a brilliant start. He scored an outstanding third goal as Arsenal beat the Hammers 3-1 on Monday. It was not an easy night for the Premier League leaders. The visitors took a 1-0 lead into the break. Nevertheless, the promising signs were always there from Arsenal. In fact, Schwarzer was extremely impressed by what he had seen from Nketiah as he discussed his display at the break. He said the following: "Odegaard at times has looked great, but generally it hasn't come to much. The only time when it has looked a little bit exciting has been when they get to the edge of the box and wipe it in quickly from out wide. Otherwise, if you play it in from further out, you have got Craig Dawson as a centre half, who is mostly heading everything away. Eddie Nketiah has looked very good a couple of times. His first touch has been brilliant, and he has caused West Ham some problems." Of course, Schwarzer's comments are particularly notable, as it was Nketiah's amazing first touch, which stepped up his goal in the second half. He did superbly to turn Thilo Kehrer and create the opportunity for himself. This is a huge chance for the 23-year-old. He has now made 20 Premier League starts for Arsenal. Meanwhile, he has already brought up his half-century of substitute appearances in the top flight. It's going to take something special to put a lot of pressure on Jesus, but the early signs are very positive indeed. Chelsea ready to make swift move for Arsenal target Joao Felix. Arsenal's pursuit of Joao Felix could be hijacked by Chelsea, with Atletico Madrid braced for a bid from the Blues for the forward, and the Telegraph reporting that Todd Bowley is prepared to move swiftly to sign the Portuguese. Felix may well be on the move to the Premier League during the January transfer window, and it did seem that there was a good chance that he would end up joining Arsenal. Reports from Luton Sport claimed that the Gunners and Manchester United were in final discussions over a potential deal for the 23-year-old. In fact, it was suggested that the battle for his signature may come down to the two. However, it may be another top-flight rival who looks to win the race for his signature imminently. The Telegraph reports that Atleti are now expecting a bid from Chelsea for the youngster. Graham Potter wants to sign another winger when the window opens, and Felix, who has been labelled special, appears to be on the radar. The report adds that Bowley is willing to make a quick move to try and bring Felix to Stamford Bridge, and they are considering making a loan bid with either an option or obligation to buy, depending on what Diego Simeone's men are looking for. Certainly, Arsenal's need for Felix has probably decreased already. Fabrizio Romano has suggested that the Gunners have now made a bid for Mykhaylo Mudryk. Meanwhile, they demonstrated their quality even without Gabriel Jesus on Monday. Mikel Arteta's side came from 1-0 down to beat West Ham 3-1 on Boxing Day. Manchester United, meanwhile, appear to have missed out on Cody Gakpo to Liverpool via Telegraph, so it would be no surprise to see the links with Felix intensify in the coming days. All of a sudden, Arsenal may be in third place in the fight for Felix. Arsenal target Dusan Vlahovic is open to leaving Juventus. Dusan Vlahovic has been on Arsenal's radar for over a year, and the Serbian is now apparently ready to quit Juventus in the January transfer window. That's according to Ben Jacobs, who has claimed that the striker isn't happy with life under Juve boss Massimiliano Allegri in Turin, and he could leave the club just 12 months after his big money switch. At this time last year, Mikel Arteta had decided he wanted Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang out of the Emirates. The Gabon star had fallen out with the Gunners boss, and he had no place at the club anymore. Arsenal wanted a top-quality striker to replace Aubameyang, and reports revealed that Vlahovic, who was still at Fiorentina at the time, was the man Arsenal were after. However, the Serbian wanted to stay in Italy. He joined Juventus in the end for £67 million, but after Gabriel Jesus' injury, reports have revealed that Arsenal want to sign him again. If that's true, the Gunners could pull it off this time, as Jacobs has revealed that Vlahovic is open to leaving Juventus in next month's transfer window. The journalist told Give Me Sport, "We know that Vlahovic has been on Arsenal's radar because they quite bullishly in January trying to sign him, and all it really did was catalyze Juventus' push to sign Vlahovic earlier, and now there is a feeling from sources that because of Juventus' uncertain situation, they are under investigation for alleged financial malpractice. Who knows, sporting sanctions are not out of the question, but more importantly because the Italian system allows for all kinds of different appeals. So, more important than the actual sporting sanction is actually just the fact that it's not thought that Vlahovic is particularly happy under Massimiliano Allegri, and because of that, I think that he is open to a move, and Juventus are at the same time quite prepared to entertain offers and see what happens. With the January transfer window right around the corner now, it will be interesting to see if Arsenal will make a move for a new striker. Someone like Vlahovic would be magnificent. Mikel Arteta gives an update on the possibility of a new striker signing. Arteta has now revealed they will act if they need a new striker, he said via Metro Sport. Can we afford not getting the player that we want? That is my question. We can afford to get a striker for sure if we want one. I don't know if he plays in League 2, in League 5, in Spain, in Portugal, in Africa. We can get a striker, I can guarantee you that. But what we cannot afford to do is get a player here that is not for us. This is what we cannot afford, that is for sure. We don't need a body. We need players that make the team better. I think personalities that have the mentality that we want to win. Arsenal bid for Mykhaylo Mudryk is not enough. Fabrizio Romano has taken to Twitter to suggest that Arsenal have now made a bid worth up to £53 million for Mykhaylo Mudryk ahead of the January transfer window. The Gunners are not waiting for the window to open before they got stuck into the market. Of course, Mikel Arteta's men find themselves top of the Premier League table and looking to capitalize on their current advantage. Mudryk has been heavily linked with a move to North London for some time. However, it appeared that the asking price was always likely to be the major issue, with 90 Minutes suggesting that Shakhtar Donetsk value him at around £88 million. Arsenal, however, have not been deterred. In fact, Romano has now taken to Twitter to suggest that the Gunners have now made a bid for the 21-year-old. The journalist has suggested that Arsenal have offered just over £35 million up front. Meanwhile, they are prepared to pay a further £18 million in add-ons. However, Shakhtar wants considerably more for Mudryk. Romano did note that personal terms will not be an issue, with the youngster ready to join Arsenal. Fabrizio Romano has now confirmed to Count Offside via his Substack column that a bid of €60 million in total is not enough for Mudryk, but they could budge on their valuation. He said, "So, could Mykhaylo Mudryk be the one for Arsenal? They have made a bid for the talented Ukraine international, but it won't be enough. Shakhtar Donetsk always asked for €100 million or £88 million in public. The feeling is that they can accept less than this, but the €40 million plus €20 million plus €20 million add-ons currently being offered by Arsenal is not enough. You'd expect €100 million to be slightly out of Arsenal's price range for a winger who may not break into the starting 11 initially. However, the Ukraine could push through a move, with Romano also confirming that Mudryk wants the move to the Emirates. Obviously, Arsenal have work to do before Mudryk is stood beside the Emirates pitch holding a red shirt. However, the signs are promising. The Gunners would have likely been aware that it was always unlikely that their first bid would be accepted. They are making a statement of intent, and the deadline is a long way away. And even though Shakhtar wants a lot more for Mudryk, it would appear that Arsenal have now got the ball rolling towards securing his signature. Mykhaylo Mudryk has made it clear just how much he wants a transfer to Arsenal, as he showed himself watching their game against West Ham on Instagram yesterday. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news show, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.